I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the land on which this podcast is recorded today. Also pay respects to the elders past and present, and extend that respect to any other Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people who may be listening today. This is Melanated in Melbourne, a podcast designed to give an insightful look into the Australian lifestyle from the lens of two Black American besties. Welcome back, Melanation. I'm Ri'chard.
And I'm Nicole.
And this is Melanated in Melbourne.
Melanated in Melbourne. Wow, that was a different key. That was a different key that time. I didn't mean to do that, or did I?
The mechanism of your mind are an enigma.
The machinations of my mind is an enigma. I wonder if you're mysterious as a Black person, you could be an enigma. Do you think that's a thing? Do you think? Okay, I was trying something new. I'm delirious today.
It's fine. It's very much a Friday, and unfortunately, I have to tell you more bad news.
Oh no!
Retrograde started today.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why you might be a little bit tired.
Mercury's in micro braids yet again. I don't understand why she's always with retrograde. He don't treat you well, girl. As a matter of fact, we all suffer when you go back with him. So could you get it together, please?
I mean, you know she won't. She'll be like, I got it together. I'm not gonna do it, girl. I'm not gonna do it.
I already know.
I did it.
I know. And there's so many people out there. I'm looking directly into the camera right now where you know you're not supposed to be with that person. You know they just bringing out the worst in you, and then you get mad at your friends for telling you the truth.
Yep.
But you just really need to be mad at yourself. Anywho, this is not about anyone in particular.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit. Not pointed in the slightest. What's on for your weekend? Do we have anything going to go?
Oh my gosh, this weekend, it has just been chock full. Because Melbourne in the summertime, listen, we know that the weather is finna change. It started pouring outside for no apparent reason.
With the sun still out.
For no apparent reason. She was just like, I just feel like being wet. And
Relatable.
So, if I had a nickel. And we know the weather is going to be changing. So, Melbourne in the summertime, every event known to man is happening tonight. Every single one is happening on February 27th. Anywho, what am I doing tonight? So today, I've already woken up, gone to Pilates. Shout out to Coffee. You're my girl. You're my girl for real. Thank you for always seeing me through the crust and the bustedness that I am in the morning. Pilates, I had a self-tape that I submitted, which was actually a lot of fun, because I'm just trying to have fun with these. It's not about booking the role, it's about booking the room. It's just so they know that they can go to you for the certain thing, even though you may not book that role. They'll be like, bring that funny girl in.
Make yourself known. Absolutely.
Bring her in, she'd be funny. And then I was supposed to meet up with my comedy writing friends, but I was just kind of like, I think I need to sit down somewhere, because here I am now.
Yes.
At the podcast. And then after this, I'm going to be going to a rap party for a TV show that I was on earlier in the week. Shout out to the Sunny Disposition. That's going to be on Stan as well as Channel 9 in June. And then I'm leaving the rap party early because our girl Big Frida is in town. Big Frida!
You already know.
Wow. Shout out to her. Shout out to Big Frida. Shout out to my girl Big Frida. She's coming back down under, because last time I missed her when she was at summer camp because I had a performance, and I was just like, I want to be shaking my cheeks.
And on behalf of Nicole, I was twerking for Big Frida on stage. I definitely threw my back out, but it was absolutely worth it. No, I 1000% did. Like, that was like the start of my back issues. I'll find the video and you'll understand what happened.
You know what? We need a chiropractor on, because
if somebody wants to come.
I mean, I'm afraid to know if there is a connection between my twerking and my back issues. I don't want to know. I don't want to know, because you can't take the twerk out of me.
Oh, no one said that.
Yeah.
But I love that you're pretending you don't know.
Yes, let me be happy. There's very few things that are left in this world. I can't lose too many more things. I'm like, I need to keep twerking. Is a disc slipped? Okay. Is the jelly
slip
all
it back
out?
in.
Is the jelly squeezing out like a PB&J? Okay, it might be. But that's my business.
And your wheelchair's business.
Not the wheelchair, not Professor X.
I mean, I want to do that for Halloween, but I feel like that's appropriation of... Yeah, so I won't be doing that, even though actors in the film are not in a wheelchair, but they do it, and that's okay. So all I'm saying is
Okay, I love that we're already talking about Halloween costumes because I'm definitely already thinking about mine.
No, I'm absolutely thinking
about mine. I'm definitely already considering what I'm going to be, and I think this is maybe the year that I cross-dress. I think this is the year I may do something from another gender.
Oh, come on, gender bender.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Do you want to tease it? Because like at this point, even when the release comes, it's still 7 months away. People think we're crazy, but we already have big plans for Halloween, so we got to do it big.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of doing Bruno Mars because he's got the pompadour up and the little teeny mustache. You're
talking about Silk Sonic version or the?
Yeah, well, he has posters all over Melbourne, and I'm like, does Bruno got something out right now? I didn't even know.
It's his first solo album since 2015 because he's done like a bunch of collaborations with people and also been a bit of hiatus. So. It's his first solo project, and I think he's touring with it.
Yeah, because I saw that poster today when I got a coffee after Pilates, and I was like, dang, Big Bruno back out. So I was thinking of that. But then I was also thinking of Prince as well. Maybe I just want to have a tiny mustache.
That is exactly what it sounds like. So what if you just get the mustache and then decide what forms around it?
It could be, but those are the things I'm thinking about because that's the best part about Halloween. Mm-hmm. You can be whatever you want to be.
And no one gets to say shit.
Yes, so Bruno Mars, Prince, or maybe a butterfly. I don't know. Like a monarch butterfly. I know, it's all over the place.
It is all over the place, but you have so much time to workshop it and see what's feasible because we don't have to do a repeat of last year and you're like Star Sprinkle or whatever you were going
Starfire fell, quite literally went down in a blaze.
Yeah, Star Cinders, Star Ash.
Count your days, eBay. Count your motherfucking days. Because every time I order something from eBay thinking, I'm like, it'll be here with enough time. It never is.
No.
And it's never as described.
No. You may as well have got it from Temu.
But I might as well just made it myself. I might as well have gotten some construction paper and staples and chewing gum and paper clips and just made it myself.
I think it would. I mean, some of that would dissolve, but it was a gay Halloween, so that's kind of on brand. Just revealing more as the night goes on via sweat.
For real. And shout out to Rose Chong for saving me for having some backup costumes. I will always love Rose Chong. How about you? Have you started thinking about Halloween costumes?
Well, I have, but there's a bunch of things that are bouncing around. But before we go too far into Halloween costumes, I want to talk about my weekend. My week itself has been chaotic. So in episode 1, we were talking about how I was doing all the studying and doing the extra pieces. I dropped out of school this week.
Oh, okay.
So the course itself was interesting, but I found that a lot of the things that I wanted to do, mainly around sound, that was more like a secondary application of the classes. So like there was a lot, it was very much trying to teach me how to be an AV technician. Like they spent 30 minutes talking about different jobs and how you can wrap coils to not set everything on fire. And I'm like, why is that my job? Why I don't put me to be the fire marshal because I will let it burn. Like you really don't. Like, and so this is how you avoid fires, right? So then I'm sabotaging my enemies. Like don't give me the tools. But also they were talking about how if you don't do this thing right, you could die. If you do this thing wrong, you could die. If you're a little bit sleepy, someone else not paying attention, you could die. And it's like it felt very much like Mean Girls having sex and dying situation. Yeah. And I'm like, I want to edit audio. I want to be working on, if we're doing visuals, like being able to edit and things, I already have practical experience with that. But the sections that we're doing, the practical areas, it's going to be a $3,000 class for me to do it by myself. Or being in class with 18-year-olds who are 18 and they, like some of them had experience, some of them didn't, but they were in class with their besties or they became besties with their classmates very quickly and they were just talking over the professors. And I'm just like, at least put on headphones, like if you're going to skip ahead of the steps, because a lot of it's audio editing and things. So you're editing with the sound on, no headphones, and I'm trying to focus on this one lesson that I'm paying thousands of dollars for in the few classes that I actually enjoyed. So it's just like, this is a big debt to be like, I could have just done this at home. And I tested it. I actually skipped one class that I couldn't stand. I won't say what that class is, but the professor...
Wow, I mean, you dropped out. You might as well say it now.
Oh, it was complex vision systems. It was the most boring class that I've ever been to in my life.
I'm not even understanding what that would have been, but we don't have to get into it.
Oh, no, we don't. It's very much a gloss over. So that class was...
Speaking of gloss.
Pop it up.
As you said.
Little Mama said. It was just a class that I very much could not enjoy because he was just talking at us about different light spectrums and it's about putting on light displays. I'm like, that will never be me.
Okay, Pink Floyd. What does that have to do with anything?
Literally, that's what I was thinking. And he's also sat down and said, sometimes I just sit around an AI and generate a bunch of images on what I might want to use. And that's when I was like, oh, that was like my first note in the class, like AI heavy usage ? So the drop date was the 31st of March. And I'm like, let me get my free trial of everything. But as it was week 3 and I'm like, the amount of energy I'm investing in this could be used elsewhere. The amount of time I'm sitting in class being lectured at and not actually practicing. I went home, the class that I hated, I skipped it. I pulled up a YouTube video using the software that they had and fixed the thing that I wanted to learn about.
Got like a goddamn millennial.
Right.
Like a damn millennial, you will take YouTube from our cold dead hands.
Literally. If you say YouTube is bad, I'm like, not my girl. Not my YouTube.
Not my algorithm.
I don't know what side you're on, but you don't speak for me and mine in this house.
She be teaching me everything.
Right.
She's a wealth of knowledge.
So it was a really good experience. Like I got to know what the industry standard software was because right now we use Descript, which I think we will still use it in the future because it's got a lot of really good capabilities. But they're trying to push a lot of AI features, and I'm like, I'm not doing it, girl. But the hosting platform itself is pretty good, so we will hold on to that. But now I know about this app called Reaper, and that's what I'm playing around with the sound with and doing very specific things with sound. So like if that third voice is in the recording, I can actually remove it, so we're not scared of everything.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things.
Third voice. There was a mysterious voice that popped up not too long ago. I don't know if it's going to be cut from this or not.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we'll just leave it there. If it's not there, I'll just look crazy on the camera, and that's okay.
Leave it in like Nick Cannon.
Oh my God. 30 children later. But because I dropped my course, that freed up a lot of time that I had scheduled for things. So I had to sit down and restructure my plan. So I have a 26 goals for 2026.
Oh, cute.
So it's just my folder that I've sectioned off into personal, professional, and the professional is podcast and pod.org. So just like ran through all that and I was like, oh, I'm locked in now. So now we're going to burn it all down. And I spent the entire week being very busy, excited, and exhausted at the exact same time. And tonight, after this episode, I'm running off to an art exhibition, Black Superheroes at Lil Homie.
Yeah, shout out to Lil Homie. I've been meaning to go over there and get some coffee.
Well, I mean, it's going to be featured a lot more in our future, so there's plenty of times. We're going to be bringing them business, because I found out today they're on my tram line.
Oh, that's
It's literally
nice.
on the 1 and 6 tram,
that's fantastic.
which makes it super easy, because right after that, I got to go down to Fed Square to catch Big Frida as well.
Fantastic.
And then after that, I'm going to go even further down south to Revs for the second, technically third time, but the second time as an adventuring adult to go see Infinite Coles, who is the son of Ghostface Killah.
Oh my God.
Which I found out today.
Killer. No, that's Cam. Never mind. That's Cameron. Killer.
I mean, I think everyone shares the word killer.
Killer.
When you add an H to it, it's like a friendly H. It's like community, you know?
Yeah.
That's a word. That's real.
It's a full day. Everything's happening on February 27th.
Everything is happening on February 27th.
And on February 27th.
It's a lot. So I'm praying for my body to hold out. I'm praying for my energy because I'm also not drinking this month.
Yeah.
And being outside, I don't like people. I really don't. Like, I'm good with people who don't drain your energy as much.
Correct.
But a lot of the times, these social experiences are like overpacked, really sweaty. People are loud, messy. And if you're sober yourself, you're just like, gosh, I kind of just want to go home.
Yeah. No, I get that. That social lubricant is kind of not there. And then you're just kind of like, wow, I would wish these people would suck less. But yeah, I totally get that. I also hope that you see the person who stole my wigs at this event.
Well, that's the thing. We're skipping the Q&A to see Big Frida, so we're not even going to see that person because the Q&A starts at a certain hour.
Somebody attending the event at Lil Homie tonight took 2 of my wigs and said that they lost them. So
we'll get a missing poster. We'll just put it right here.
It was boom, put it here. It's a 24-inch Peruvian bust down, and I'm still mad over that, over my 2 wigs that I lost, man. I was so mad about that. Lost my community over that, but you know what? I still believe that those wigs will return to me in some sort of way. Or remuneration.
You still believe?
I still believe someday you and me. I think the other one was Burmese. But you know what? You know how mad? Because I didn't even get to wear them, you know? And I just had so much promise. I was imagining all the events I was going to go to. I was imagining all the looks I was going to pull with them. And then this person lost my wigs. So I'm not trying to talk smack about them. But, ooh, no, you got me heated. Anywho.
Speaking of Beyonce, let me bring you back. We have our third and final Beyonce album of the Diva Draft Picks before we pivot on to other ventures.
Great.
And this album is Lemonade, which is a particularly heavy album. Actually, the 10th anniversary of Lemonade, so that worked out really well. So where were you in 2016?
Where was I in 2016? Well, I guess that was before the darkness had really settled in. So I was at a point in my life where I was fully praying to get out of New York. I was just like, I'm just ready to get out of here. My girl Shannon, shout out to Shannon, had just broken up with somebody. And she was just like, oh my gosh, I spent money to take us on a cruise to the Bahamas, but I just broke up with him. Will you come with me? And I was like, say less, I will be there. So her and I ended up going on like a little mini cruise to the Bahamas, and that was our Galentine's Day, which was so much fun, which was so great. And I think that was like February. And then it was like a month before I met Rob. And it was so funny because I was literally like, I'm not going to date anybody. And then when that Beyonce album came out, I was like, like I said, men, I don't trust them. And then I ended up meeting the love of my life. So don't listen to me, y'all. But she was out and about. But like I said, everything before November 2016 just feels like it was like sunshine, fairy tales. Didn't even know how dark it could really get until the darkness everywhere befell us. But Beyonce with Lemonade, it was just an incredible moment. Love this album.
Yeah, very much before the dark times, but I already smelled it on the horizon. Like I smelled it. There was too much happening when this album dropped. It because she dropped Formation at the Super Bowl, and that's when everybody got mad that Beyonce was black.
Really, really
and they're like, "Oh my God, Beyonce is black. Why is she having feelings and having statements on things?" Me personally, it was my second year living in LA, and I'd already decided that I was coming to Australia, but it wasn't locked in. Like I had made the plans, and I was like looking at the working holiday visa. So I was very much in transition. I'd done a year of full-time professional life where I'd worked the job of my dreams and student affairs, worked at university. My students were great. My staff was great. But I was like, if I don't go now, I will wake up and be 32 and be like, ugh. And then when this album came out, like I just remember it being probably one of the most vulnerable projects that I'd seen in a while.
It was incredible.
I mean, I already was never a big Jay-Z fan to begin with, but I'm like, you're better than me, Beyonce. You are better than me. I'm not going to say it because like it may go into my picks, but there's some songs in there like I love it to death, but I don't like that it's for him.
Yeah.
So
there's one song in particular that I know I will not be picking because that's when she's like forgiving him, and I won't let that go.
I knew you were never going to pick that.
Sandcastles was never going to be on my list. Never. As soon as that song plays, I'm like, well, I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get some snacks.
Forward. Never mind. So let's... Okay.
Yeah.
So whoever goes first here will not go first in our second draft pick of the night. So which one would you like to go first on?
Second draft pick of the night?
This is the suburbs.
Oh, this is the suburbs episode. Okay. I'll go first for Beyonce.
Perfect.
Because... best believe it's going to be Don't Hurt Yourself, because that is my fucking song. When she let that man know, that camel-looking man. Okay, I know. I should have grown in the past 10 years. I should have. Beyonce has long forgiven her husband. Kelly has, long forgiven. That's like B's, right-hand person. Solange got a couple of licks in that elevator, so I'm sure she feels, like she's exercised her demons and whatnot. So I can totally deal with that. But it still kind of chews me up. Because who the fuck do you think I am? All right. I was already singing that. So that song is really heavy on my heart.
I did hear you singing that as we did the soundtrack. So I knew that's where you were going to be going. And that's perfectly okay, because the song that I'm picking... yeah. is not one that I would normally pick on certain circumstances. Like the feature on the song kind of gets on my nerves because when he first came out, I thought he was pretending to be Michael Jackson.
Oh, so The Weeknd got 6 inches everything.
6 inches, the song that I'm going to go with, because so like I've never heard a song where the music video also starts playing in my head. Like the hall's on fire, you're walking down, and it's like that imagery is seared into my brain. So even though a lot of The Weeknd's music, I kind of hopped off the train after The Hills, and like, no, not The Hills, the album after the trilogy. Yeah, after the trilogy.
After the 3 albums that he did.
I fell off. Like, I was like, okay, I get it. And then he put out that weird show with, I think it was Rose.
Oh, The Idol.
The Idol. That horrible show.
I
like,
didn't watch it,
no, all the reviews, like, I saw a clip of it. I'm like, oh, this is not good. So, like, I'm just not a fan of The Weeknd in general, and I'm really trying to use my time and money as my currency. Like as my voice for things. So like, but that song, on repeat.
And I think it's a Curtis Mayfield sample at the dong dong dong, which Beyonce was just so in her bag, utilizing that and the picture that it painted, and it was just like the deep 70s and the grunginess, and you could feel like the thump of the drums inside of the club. It was just like, it's a masterpiece.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Well, then second, I got to go with it because she just shook everybody up when she did it, Formation. Formation is a song that was really like, people got so upset about it, but I was like, oh, she made this for the Black girls. She made this specifically for us. Oh my God, it was just such a moment. People were so pissed, and I was so filled with glee and joy. And just because not a whole lot of stuff is for just us. A lot of the time as Black women, even like hair care lines and stuff, it's marketed to us and being like, oh, this is something for you. And then a little bit down the line, they're like, actually, this is for all girls. This is for everybody, which is, it's okay for there to be like things for all girls. But I'm just like, dang, like, isn't there going to be something that's like specifically for just us? Because a lot of things are specifically for a certain group of people. And it's just like, dang, is there ever going to be anything that's just for us? So Formation really felt like that for me. And it was just like strength and resilience and like just unapologetically who she was. And Big Frida was on it.
Yep.
And Big Frida was on it.
The timeliness of all this is just so
incredible. And then she even used a sample from like, Messy Maya. What happened in that New Orleans? Rest in peace, Messy Maya. I love that Beyonce's music is almost like a time capsule. And I can remember where I was when I first heard it. And I think I was talking to somebody on the phone. She had just performed the Super Bowl. And I was like, girl, this is for us. Oh, my God, this is amazing. And my roommate at the time, I think her name was Anna, was like, oh, are you talking to me? And I was like, no,
baby.
No, I'm not. And then, like, shut the door in her face. But I was like, no, I'm not talking to you. I'm on the phone. Because it was just, like, really excited. I was just really, really excited. Such a moment. Such a moment. I had hot sauce in my bag specifically for that reason.
That's an incredible pick. I think it was very interesting, obviously, when the movie came out, that was just the song at the end because it had its own music video, but the rest was a part of the movie, which was, again, fantastic movie. You have to be in the right headset to watch it. If you haven't seen it, then no time like the present.
So beautiful.
There's so many good ones, but I think I'm actually going to go with a song that's not really a ballad, but like as my ballad pick.
Okay.
Pray You Catch Me.
It's a good one.
Pray You Catch Me.
It is a good one.
Like the imagery, the drowning,
Pray
just like
you catch me whispering.
Whisper, whisper.
Pray you catch me whispering.
It was like, I don't know, there's just something about it.
Yes.
And
spiritual.
Yes. And to start the album as well, it's just like, that was the note, was like, oh, this is actually be a different Beyonce. Like when that song started, I'm like, oh, okay. And like, I know we've talked about the first song always like sending a really big message about what's happening. And Pray You Catch Me really did that for me.
I love that. It's so good. Yeah, she was really in her spiritual kind of like hoodoo bag. I mean, before Cowboy Carter, like Lemonade really feels like a love song for the South and like her roots and where her people have come from and being unapologetic about that. And this next song, it may be the title of an apology, but we don't mean it. Sorry, I ain't sorry, I ain't sorry, I ain't sorry, I ain't. Nigga, no. And that was the first time I heard Beyonce say, nigga. I could flip this chair right now. I could, but I won't. But know that I really, really want to because it felt so empowering hearing her. Yeah, now you want to say you're sorry. Now you want to call me crying. Because I feel like so much of being like being a black person, being a black woman, I feel like we're apologizing all the time, even for things that we don't even have anything, like we're not even at fault for it, but we are just kind of naturally programmed to always be apologizing for something out of our control. So for her to be like, I'm not really going to apologize. Yeah, and then talking about where she was going to take her kids and everything. It was incredible. It was incredible to me. So yeah, sorry.
I ain't sorry though.
I ain't sorry. Nigga, no.
Oh, I think so. I'm really glad the Lemonade was the last album because there's so many songs that I enjoy for different reasons. Like it wasn't the one that was going to have a lot of radio hits because it wasn't meant to be that. Because a lot of other albums, like, oh, this one got a lot of play at the club. Like, maybe 2 songs of this would get played at the club at any given point. But my final pick,
well, you can talk through your options. Like, I've already locked in my 3.
Okay, so of course you're locked in 3. Yeah. So I am currently on the first, like, in my head there's Hold Up, Freedom, and All Night. So the thing, I love the message behind All Night about forgiveness in general, but I don't like that it's forgiveness of Jay-Z. Just like, the message is beautiful. It's a great ending to the album, but at the same time, it's just like, oh, So it's you. So Alex, you know what? I'm gonna lock in. Hold up is my answer.
Yeah.
Hold up is my answer.
Like I love you. Slow down. They don't love me like I love you. Back up.
And it's like, it's a bit of a two-part as well, because like I picked Pray You Catch Me, and just to fall into Hold Up and be like, actually, walking out of that church with that bat?
That little plinky plunk. Plink, plunk, plink, plunk, plunk, plink, plunk, plink, plunk, plink, plunk, plink. Like, oh my God, it was so iconic. And the yellow dress and the smiling and then just like the swinging. I look in the mirror and say, what's up? Everything, the Soulja Boy reference.
Yeah.
Oh.
And everybody just like reacting to Beyonce, and then one goes like,
Shout out to her. Shout out to her. You know who else is my sister? This had nothing to do with Beyonce. You know who else is my sister in my head? You know that part in Sinners where it was like the time traveling scene, and Sammy was playing the music, and then they went through all the different eras. Whoever the girl was twerking.
I knew you were gonna say, I knew it.
Whoever twerk girl was, I see you, sis.
Come on, twerk girl.
I see you. I don't know what her name is. I don't know what your name is, but please know.
You were seen, you were loved, you were perceived.
I see myself in your cheeks. Wait, that didn't sound right. You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean, though.
Everyone for sure knows. Okay, so to recap, I have chosen 6-inch, Pray You Catch Me, and Hold Up.
And I have chosen Don't Hurt Yourself, Formation, and Sorry. 3 very unapologetic songs.
Well, yes, it's a very unapologetic album, so you could have just closed your eyes and thrown a dart and hit something that was like, fuck you.
Yeah, I think technically, okay, I guess Formation was a single, because I was like, all of my songs come from the beginning of the album when she's just like, fuck you. But honorable mention to Freedom.
Yes.
Very close on picking Freedom.
Also very close to picking Freedom.
Very close on picking Freedom, because that is an absolute jam.
And then the Kendrick feature, and like seeing it live with that little water display.
Oh, splash in the round.
Splash zone. Hit me.
No.
Rain on me.
Like, it was just everything, and it was so cool, and again, it was really spiritual. It was like baptism, and just like, flinging the water about, and the cleansing, and then just, it was just amazing. And her work husband in my head is Kendrick Lamar, so it was just so awesome seeing them together. And because I went and saw that show. I actually went to Formation Tour twice. Yeah, because my mother-in-law had come to visit me. She's like, "Can I see Beyonce when we're here?" And I was like, say less. And I got some really good floor seats. And wouldn't you know it, that was the one show that Beyonce rescheduled. It was the one. No. I know, and she never cancels her shows. She never reschedules her shows. And it was at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So my mother-in-law wasn't able to go, but I ended up bringing my partner, and he was just like, "Wow, Beyonce is like really amazing." I'm like, Duh. So,
beautiful. So we've got that. We'll put that on Instagram and have you guys vote, tear at each other's throats, do what you got to do, get mad at us for not picking sandcastles or something. Whatever makes you feel good at night. Honestly, cry about it. We built sandcastles. Yeah. That cricket is actually very light and refreshing.
Ew.
They're a delicacy somewhere. Anyway, so today's actually a double draft pick. So we mentioned earlier in the season that we were going to talk about our favorite suburbs. We're going to have our own little back and forth. And the first suburbs we're going to go with is, of course, the north side. Because we are north siders here. And there's nothing wrong with the south side except that we don't want to live there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, I guess you're into like the south side of the city. I feel like if you really love the beach, I feel like if you're like a beachy kind of person, then it's probably more.
And she's very pretty.
Yeah.
And if there's an event going down south side, if my friends live there, I'm absolutely going. Yeah. But north side always has my heart. I have like 8 years of experience living north side explicitly, so I have very strong feelings about her. And we're considering north side, obviously north of the Yara, but also south of Bell Street, which is like the top where it goes into Coburg. So like Coburg is like the cap. So it'll include like Thornbury and all her cousins. And Brunswick, we'll count them as individuals. Like if you say Brunswick West or Brunswick East or Brunswick proper, because that's a lot more space than the others.
True. In case anybody's listening to this in the States and they don't necessarily know what we're talking about, Melbourne itself is a city that's divided into different quadrants.
Yes.
There's the north side as we will be discussing today, but then there's the east, and then there's the south of the city, and then there's the west that all the white people are really, really scared of.
Yeah.
But I've been to the west; it's really lovely.
Yeah, it's really. I was just there on Tuesday. Oh shit, I forgot to tell that story. I'll tell it afterwards. But I was just in Footzcroy on Tuesday, and it was cute. There were so many black people. We were vibing.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure there's a correlation between their fear and colors, but that's.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure it's a circle.
Exactly.
But yeah, no. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm just explaining, like these are the different components of the city. And we'll just be talking about the north side of it today because I kind of want to say the culture is kind of sort of different in each of these different regions. I feel like the north is more of like a gritty, grungy, very art driven, a lot of graffiti, coffee, a lot of good cafes. I dig it.
Yeah, the music, the live scene, the arts, it's all north. Like all the art districts. I mean, I guess a lot of the theaters are technically in the CBD, which like kind of just like does their own thing. But we'll get to them when we get to them. But for today, we're doing the north side. And for my first pick, I'm going to have to go with Collingwood. My number one pick has to be Collingwood. Like that's my girl from day one. When I first visited Australia, that's where I went to right away. And the distinction here, for people who may not know Melbourne that well, Collingwood and Footzcroy are divided by Smith Street. Yeah. And the right side, or like the east side, is Collingwood, and the left and the west side is Footzcroy. Yeah. And Collingwood has always just sat better for me. Like my dentist is literally there. Like I have so many, like my regular stomping ground. Shout out to Teeth. My stomping grounds there. There's so many little artsy boutique places. There's an American restaurant that's on top of like trains.
Yes,
Easy's is there. So it's like they've got so many like little hole in the wall bars, and it's just it's so cute. It's such a fun vibe. I've always been Team Collingwood. Also Magpies. Up the Pies, Collingwood Magpies. So sorry to Nicole's husband. There's so many incredible memories of Collingwood, and also my friends affectionately call me the Collingwood mayor. So I gotta rep my city. Those are my girls forever. So Collingwood down.
Collingwood down, which is a really good start. Collingwood is like a really, really cute area. I think that I'm going to go with Carlton for my first pick because
I knew I mean you kind of had to. You're legally required for multiple reasons.
Well, I mean, after you mentioned my husband's football team, I was like, oh yeah, because one of the great things about living in Melbourne is the parks. I know I sound like Leslie Knope right now. I get what I sound like. Yep. But it's giving parks and recreation because some of the most beautiful parks are here, and they have the Royal Botanical Gardens that is down in I guess that's the south.
Yeah, it's south of the river, so we're calling it south.
But it's like a crown jewel kind of park. But then there's all these other like little parks that exist in the north, and Carlton Gardens is one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
It's one of my favorite. It has this big, gigantic, beautiful fountain. It has the Melbourne Museum there as well. And Carlton itself is just like really cool. And you live there.
I do love Carlton.
It's
Carlton.
A great section.
That's an incredible pick. Like I had to go back and forth, loyalty versus aesthetics. Like Carlton itself was absolutely my second choice. I have lived most of my Australian experience in Carlton. Like I did lockdown through those areas. It's so walkable. There's so many activities.
So many great restaurants.
Oh, the restaurant, the food, Lygon Street itself.
Yes. Shout out to Shisht. I think they're going to be renaming themselves, so this is a bit of a moot point, but it's a Lebanese restaurant.
It's a time capsule. Yeah. It's a time capsule. I don't know why she's Italian suddenly, but...
Yes, the Lebanese, the Italians of the Middle East. But these people, they always treat me so well when I go in there. They've given me many a meat. So shout out to Shish.
Shout out to me.
Shout out to Carlton, because it is just, it's that girl.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. It's so cool. Have I ever gone out in Carlton though? Maybe not.
No, I think that's one of the downsides. In the defining factor, Carlton was the second place, because when I moved back to Carlton after being in Collingwood for so long, it was to just step away from the gay a little bit. Like Collingwood is a very queer area, and that was very important for me. Like post calling off my engagement, and just being outside with the queers, like, oh, my people. But it's also that hurt my wallet. My soul, because like I could be on a Wednesday night and like on my couch doing some writing or something, and someone's like, "Hey, you want to go to bingo?" And I'm like, I guess I could. And then I would just keep getting pulled out on random excursions. And then I check my bank account. I'm like, why do I have no money? So Carlton is the answer to that because it's close enough that if I wanted to go, I could.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's not many places to properly go out in Carlton. There's Carlton Yacht Club, which we do love. Heart Attack and Vine, that's available. But those all very like chill cocktail bars. You're not throwing ass in Carlton properly.
Yeah,
like
yeah, maybe you're eating ass, but
yeah, you could be eating ass in any of these suburbs because in the north, they eat that. They're munchers.
Cut the cameras.
Oh my god, this is a mess.
Unhinged.
For my second pick, I'm actually going to go with, and the reason I did the distinction is because I didn't want to be greedy.
Yeah.
I'm going to specifically say Brunswick East.
Oh, cute. Yes. Very, very cute area.
Again, continue the Lygon love. The 1 and the 6 tram takes you pretty much anything you could possibly want. There's restaurants, there's venues. Little Homie is on the 1 and 6 tram line, which again is a throwback to earlier. There's so much accessible, and because that's along my tram line, don't stalk me, don't try to kill me. It's along my tram line, and I love it so much because you can just get to so many things, so many options, and it also goes all the way down south side. So like that line says, actually, I'm going to be living on the 1 and 6 tram line today. I'm going to go back up on the 1 and 6 tram line, go further up 1 and 6 tram, go all the way down to Federation Square, and then go all the way down to Revs in the south side. So shout out to public transportation.
Shout out to Carmen San Diego over here. Just going to be all over the map. Brunswick East is a really good pick. Well, I think I'm going to have to go with, this one's tough because there's 2 picks in my head. They're kind of close in proximity. But I think I know. But I think one just edges out the other because one of them I live in. Well, edging. One of them I live in, the other one I frequent. So I think I'm going to go with the one that I frequent, and that's Northcote.
I knew you were going to say Northcote, yeah.
Northcote on High Street, it is just like, once again, fantastic coffee. So good. Shout out to Cafe Mio. They're one of my favorite coffee shops. And they always hook me up with coffee. I never know what the gay Italian man, the Italians, once again, you guys are living in this episode. Shout out to the gay Italian man who is always playing his music, always playing his Lady Gaga and
this is Gaga.
And this is Gaga. Always playing these various femme bops, which I live for. And every time I show up and I'm doing a little sing, and they're like, oh, I see you're listening to this today. He's like, Bella, I give you the coffee for free. And I love that. I love being treated well. I don't know your name, so I'm just going to call you Fabio. Thank you, Fabio. Yes, Fabio Parmigiana, I'm so sure.
If the Italians didn't have a sense of humor, this would be so bad.
Oh, no. Do they have a history of being mad? I don't know. Oh, those Roman soldiers. But that's great. Great vegan eats as well. Brother Bon is one of my favorite restaurants as well. Tahina is another fantastic Middle Eastern spot, a vegan Middle Eastern spot. That's amazing. And then there's places to go out. There's like little things that are like tucked away. Like I think there's like 24 Moons. I've never been there.
Oh yeah, 24 Moons is great. Yeah, Northcote Social Club.
Northcote Social Club.
So
I always hear about it. I hear about Francesca's as well, and another place that I haven't gone to, but I've always heard about it. The 86 runs up and down it. So many of the businesses that take all of my money. I'm giving it to them. Yeah. Capitalism. So many businesses I support are on High Street. That's why it's so nice living in Thornbury. Thornbury is like the cute little hat on Northcote, but it just doesn't have the bustling nightlife and accoutrement that is in Northcote, which is why I ended up having to pick that one and go against Thornbury.
Very wise. That's so fair.
Yeah, but it's really, really good. Shout out to Northcote.
Even though there's like 8 to 10, depending on how you want to classify suburbs in the north side. So there's plenty of options that we could have bounced around. And at the end of this, I'll go to which one I was never going to pick in the history of ever, but that's for a different reason. My final pick is going to be Brunswick, because I still wanted to keep Brunswick.
So hold up, you got Brunswick East and Brunswick.
Yes, I didn't want to say Brunswick and include all of it, because that's greedy. Because the difference is, like, that's right, I didn't pick Footzcroy, but I picked Collingwood. Because, like, there's so many things, they're so close, but I actually enjoy both those for different reasons. Like, I like Brunswick East, but sometimes it's a bit more gentrified than I would like it to be. Like, a lot of the things that they're opening up, they're, like, knocking down really classic historical places, and I'm just like, I like what's still there, but there is a slow creeping in of things. Another reason I didn't pick Footzcroy is like, why is there a Lululemon there? Why are you gentrifying Footzcroy to hell? And that's why it wasn't on my list. But that's not the suburb I was never going to choose. Also, so I picked Brunswick itself because When I first got here, I lived in Parkville. When I first got out of the hospital, I lived in Parkville, and it was like the closest suburb to me, and it felt like I was living in the big city. It was so strange. I had literally lived in Los Angeles. I'd literally lived in Dallas. I've lived in all these actual major cities, but being in Parkville and going to Brunswick just felt like I was in the city. It was like, oh, because it was grungy, it was whatever. I up and down destroyed Savers. Half of my clothing is from Savers. I need to get stock in that place because they have saved me many a time for many an outfit. Stay Gold, the venue that has treated us incredibly well for all three of our live show, is based in Brunswick. The Penny Black, there's so many pubs that also host a lot of live music, and the Brunswick Street Party always pops off. Barclay Square has everything you could possibly need and more with the Kmart, all the sushi, like everything that you could possibly need is in Brunswick. It is also the most quintessentially north side place you can possibly think of. That's why it's so low on my list, because it's very much like there's a lot of performative whites there, and I won't be explaining any further because like if you know, you know. But there's also a lot of genuine people who are very much down for the cause. So it's like, I love Brunswick. I wouldn't live there personally, but I will always frequent there to give them my business and my support.
As well as Juanita's Peaches, which is a fantastic restaurant with the most amazing donuts.
That sounds like a drag name, Juanita's Peaches.
It would be. But for the time, Miss Peaches is working in the kitchen, and she is putting her foot in everything. Every winter, they have this thing called a chimichanga, which is just essentially a deep fried burrito, and it's the most delicious thing on the goddamn planet. It's so good. They have donuts that are literally, it's like a pink icing donut with rainbow sprinkles, and it looks like it was just like plucked out of The Simpsons. Like they quite literally took it from the TV show. Like it's so good, and it's actually called the Homer Donut. So
copywriting.
Yeah, so which is so smart. Which is smart. It looks incredible. It's just it's super super yummy. It's really yummy. Let's see, what are some other ones? I guess I just don't know enough about Miss Coburg. Like, I just don't know enough about her.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
I just don't know enough about her. I know people get really excited about her.
Do they? When did that happen? Did I miss that? Because, like, my only experience of the Coburg is the Velodrome, which had Let Them Eat Cake this year and had summer camp for us a couple years back. Industreek, I think, is also in Coburg. So there's a lot of spaces in Coburg, but I don't think that Coburg is a place that people are excited to go to, respectfully.
Yeah. I'm going to go with a weird pick.
North Melbourne?
Not North Melbourne. Oh, and I'm wondering if this still counts.
If it has a new name, I think it counts.
Yeah.
If it has its own name, it counts.
If it has its own name, I'm going to go with a really weird pick, which probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's just because I like it so much. I'm going to go with Abbotsford.
I thought so. When you were like, weird pick, I'm like, what's a weird pick? And I know I can see it. I can see it. Give you a reason.
Quite literally because of the flying foxes. That's one of the big bat colonies that they have here. It's one of my favorite things about living in Melbourne is you always know it's summertime when you look up at the night sky and the sunset is incredible. It's like a pink or an orange, and the sky is slowly fading into purple, like a deep inky purple. And you look up and the sky is just filled with these ginormous, beautiful flying foxes and bats. And they're making their way, I don't know, downtown, walking fast, faces passing them homebound. I don't know where they're going. But they have this pilgrimage that they go through each day, but I never know what they're flying to, but they always happen to fly overhead. If you came to Australia and you saw a kangaroo, you would know you're in Australia. But for me, it's whenever I see a ginormous flying fox. And Abbotsford has like beautiful like Studley Park. You hear about Sydney having really beautiful outdoor things, and I get that. But I think there's still outdoor things here in Melbourne. So I'm going to go with Abbotsford.
That's beautiful. Abbotsford was not on my radar only because it's a tiny section.
It's
and
tiny.
Like it's very much outdoors. Like I think about the Yarrabend. I think of like the things over there.
She's like the hat for Richmond a little bit.
Yes. I do agree with that. And it's very funny you mentioned Richmond because that was the one that I was never going to say.
Richmond, she's kind of a tough sell. I mean, she's a bit gritty. She's a bit gritty on, I can't remember what the name of that street is. And
so, yeah, North Richmond is very much gritty, but South Richmond wants to be South Side so bad. So, like, there's a lot of identity crisis in that suburb. Yeah. So I just kind of let her be on her own space. Maybe she'll come up in the South Side and you'll get to hear more about it, but maybe not. Who's to say?
But like, I don't know. Richmond, I mean, like, unless you're like big into footy.
Yeah.
Then I
mean, that would be heavy, but No,
Yeah, it's not necessarily my ministry.
no, nor is it mine.
But
Peace be with you.
Yeah, any honorable mentions
Ooh.
in the north side?
Yes, honestly, I will give my honorable mention to Footzcroy because I didn't actually pick her, even though like the distinction is literally crossing that street. But there's so much in Footzcroy.
We're inventing new suburbs out here. Footzcroy.
Fitzroy is a fun area. Like, it is the queer hub because most of the gay bars are on that side of Smith Street. So I will give it there. I'm almost always on Smith Street, more so when I was younger. In my younger days, when I was a youth. It's still very vibrant, still very beautiful, and we will still be doing activities there coming 100%. In the near future. Definitely. So I will still put some respect on her name. I think she was my top 4.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, Fitzroy is really beautiful. Definitely frequent it a lot. I think because my tram line ends up going through Fitzroy. I think the 11 goes right through it. And again, incredible.
Naked for Satan.
Incredible vintage shops everywhere. Yes. Some of which I don't even really know the names of, but you just pass by it and you're just like, oh my gosh.
I think that's where you find the best stuff, where it's not like a name thing. It's just like the sign's written in ink. And there's like, never knew her name, but she always treats me well. And I think that's important.
I don't know her name. I swear. Yeah, don't know her name, but it's like some great finds that you just happen to see in the window and everything. It just feels like you can just make really awesome discoveries here in Melbourne, and especially in the north, because things aren't necessarily broadcasted.
Yeah.
You could just happen upon something.
Wandering into something is great.
Happen upon something.
I had the luxury and joy of when it was like Good Beer Week and just traveling around Melbourne to different pubs that are around the city. A lot of them were north side, so I ended up going there and a lot of venues I'd never been to before. But then you're like, oh, I'm already here. What's this shop? And you just kind of take time to explore. So whether you live here, whether you're going to visit here, check out our suburbs, see who you think is the best. Also, just check out the city because there's so much to be seen just exploring on your own. Instead of be like, the TikTok said this place was great. Like, well, maybe don't trust the internet because a lot of it's lies these days. But just trust your eyes. Go explore things. Go with your friends. Take people's personal recommendations because there's so much more to see. There's so many suburbs that we didn't include. There's so many things we didn't list in these places because depending on the time of year, depends on what's happening. There's film festivals every 3 weeks. There's different events at Comedy Festival will take over little pubs like Motley Bro House and like just taking over the city and just doing different things. So like just because we didn't pick them or just because we picked them in different orders doesn't make them bad areas. So just like go check them out because these are our personal picks. Yeah. And make your own opinions. And again, I keep reiterating that's what's so great about the North because I just think that there's so many different suburbs and areas to choose from. It's just like a feast. And so even if you don't necessarily like something, you could find something else that is just wonderful and fabulous and you can have a great time. Another reason I love the North is because of the K-Czar parties. K-Czar's parties are always so fun and you never know where they're going to be because they pop up in random areas and you don't know until they send you a text message. A lot of the art that I ingest is here in the North. I love the theaters here. I love Nova Theater, of course. There's Kino Cinemas in Brunswick. Which is sort of near Sparkly. Northcote Picture House. Yes, or Thornbury Picture House. There's Thornbury Picture House, but then there's also Westgarth Palace Cinemas. Yes, that's the one I was thinking. That's because Westgarth is like, well, if Thornbury's the hat, then Westgarth is the thong. Jockstrap. Same diff. Yeah, different occasions. Or the skirt, whichever. Was it the kilt? Yeah, it's like a little teeny bit because I almost mentioned Clifton Hill. I was really close to coming to Clifton Hill, but I was wondering if I was like, is that the east or is it starting to feel easty? Well, so when I was playing, because again, north side is more of a concept than like a set boundary line, but I was on Reddit, I was seeing what people can consider the boundaries. So it was like, there was a highway that runs down, so Essendon, splits Essendon and Brunswick West. That highway is what people call the edge. Oh, gotcha. People call Bell Street the top. And then they call that little road on the side of you wandering down Northcote, Clifton Hill, all that. So Clifton Hill was on the side, so it would have been one to say. But what made you want to say them? I don't know. Cliffo is like one of those... Cliffo. I'm really local. You're so Australian. So I was like... Oh, Cliffo. Oh, Cliffo. Because when I first moved here, the restaurant the cafe that I worked in was called The Dirty Apron, and it was... in Clifton Hill, so I think there's like a bit of a nostalgia pull there for me because of my first moments for working as a waitress there. And it was such a lovely neighborhood with some of the greatest kids in the world would always go to this restaurant.
Like, I always loved meeting, like, the little families. They were really, really cute. One of my favorite moments was, I can't remember if I've told this on the podcast, but being customer service friendly is just kind of like a natural ability for me as who I am and as, like, being an American. But my favorite moment was when I was helping this one family, but I was, like, kind of running around as well. And I was like, oh, I'll be back to check on you guys. And then this little girl, I think she was maybe all of like 5 years old. And she's like, lovely lady, we need some help over here. Because she really thought my name was Lovely Lady because that's what the family kept calling me. And she thought that was my name. And she was like, lovely lady, we need your help. And I was just like, oh my God, my heart exploded into
that's so precious.
Million pieces. And then even when I was there for Halloween and I asked them, I was like, can I hand out candy from the cafe? Like, even though the cafe was like closed for the day. And I was like, can I stay here and hand out candy? And I was telling the kids, I was like, I'm going to be handing out candy later. And they're just like, what's candy? Because they call it lollies.
Oh, yeah.
They call it lollies. And I was just like, right, I'm learning so much here.
That's beautiful. I love that. And it's very fun. My honorable mention was also Footzcroy. Damn it. Why am I saying Footzcroy? Oh, because my brain really wants to tell that Footzcroy story, but I can't hold it together. Damn it. Footzcroy. Footzcroy. I'm not saying it again. So Footzcroy was my honorable pick because it was also the place that I got my first job, my first working at a queer bar. Like, that whole experience was wonderful. And even though I don't talk about that venue anymore, I would still say it's a cornerstone of my experience. So to recap our picks, I have chosen Collingwood, Brunswick East, and Brunswick proper.
I have chosen Carlton, Northgate, and Abbotsford.
So very much like that, the last one, we're going to put it on Instagram, fight about it, be mad at us for not picking Richmond, do whatever you need to do with your life.
Can't wait to read your mail.
Yes. To the address that we've totally given you.
Totally.
But the story that I wanted to loop back to before we wrap up was I was in Footscray Tuesday for a project that I recorded way back when, like November, for Inclusive Voices with the Malik Foundation. So essentially they were just getting community members from the African diaspora to talk about their experience with racism, whether it be interpersonal or like external racism. And they were doing a bit of a documentary because they're making a website where you can essentially just like build community spaces and just like talk about these experiences you had. And they wanted our videos to be part of it. And I'm like, I thought nothing of it. Like, first of all, it was great to be involved with that and then getting paid because, again, a bitch has bills. But I was like, I don't know whether it's going to be good or not because sometimes you do things and you hope that it's done well, but like what they describe to you and what they present is not always the case. And I admittedly forgot that it was a thing. I could put it in my calendar because if it's not on my calendar, I won't remember. And it wasn't until the morning of, I'm like, oh shit, that's today. So I basically scrambled across town and it was in Footscray. But now that there's a train station in Parkville, I can actually get there very quickly.
Right. Yeah,
so it was much faster than taking like an hour to go down into the CBD and then get a train outward. So did love that. So good job on you, public transportation. Second time mentioned. And it was actually a really beautiful, impactful piece of work because all the stories, like I knew what I brought to the table, but the fact that they randomly got all these other people who were giving really powerful answers and really strong input, it was so wonderful. And some of the other people who were there in the videos were in the audience as well. So it was kind of funny just like looking back at each other. We're like, that was funny. You said that the one thing. Like didn't know the people from like the back of my hand. But again, that black community just kicked in immediately because there was a lot of white people who were like investors, I guess, in the audience. I thought it would be a much larger event. It had maybe 10, 15 people. The people who were involved, people who were recorded, and then like the people who were like sponsoring it. The members, I met the mayor of Melbourne, who was super lovely. It was very funny because one of the people who told the story, she grew up in South Africa, and she quoted something that my grandma used to always say to me. Wow. And it was so strange because, again, this is well before the internet, obviously, because if her mother, this is a grown woman, like a little bit older, she had an adult son. So this is a grown woman who said her mom used to tell her this one expression that my grandma in America was also saying. So the way that information spreads, the way that ideals and beliefs spread through culture is just so beautiful and amazing. One thing she was saying was like, if they're going to be staring, give them something to look at. And that's one of the things I live by. Anytime I'm wearing a really good outfit or I'm just carrying myself a certain way, like if you're going to look at me, I'm going to put on a show. And it was just so interesting that not only bridge generations, but interfamily groups, intercontinental organizations. I'm like, this is what it's all about. So that was a really fun and impactful experience for me. So I'm very excited to get to the West whenever we do and the rest of our suburbs. Did you have any final thoughts on the suburbs or just any farewell anecdotes?
It's good to live in Melbourne.
It is so good to live in Melbourne.
It's so good to live here because when you leave everything that you know and that you grew up on behind to start a new life, and you never know what it is that you're going to get. But Melbourne is just such an awesome city, and I feel like it's a major city. 1/4 of the population in the entire country lives here, and it still feels like the best kept secret in all of Australia because we're usually hearing about the places with beaches a bit more. But Melbourne has heart, it has culture, it has food, it has cuisine, it has art, it has grit, it has grunge, it has music, it has tears, it has performances, it has comedy, it has everything that I want in a city. So I'm very grateful and very fortunate to be here. But also, if you're living in a place and you kind of wish there was a little bit more where you're at, just go exploring. Go exploring. Maybe there's things that are there that you didn't even know that were there, because a lot of the times, like I said, sometimes things aren't necessarily advertised. Sometimes you have to kind of be willing to go outside of your comfort zone
and explore.
Just try it out a little bit. Go exploring. Try a new thing. You see a restaurant that you've been wanting to try out, just go to it. Take yourself out for a nice little date. Just go check it out, because nothing is going to change unless you try. Unless you try it out. And I mean, we are living on who knows what kind of time? Who knows what kind of time? Yeah, who knows what kind of time? So now is the time to make new discoveries. So just be bold, go out and see some things and just have fun and have an open mind. Be curious.
Yes,
it's not
curiosity.
it's not even about being like, oh, I hate this. This is different than what I know. Because I know there's people in New York who have barely left New York. They're just like these people who like stay in New York. They don't even like leave. And anytime they do leave, they're like, oh, I miss Manhattan. And it's just like, I get that, but you need to see more of the world. Other places have things to offer that are different than what you know. So just give it a go.
Absolutely.
Give it a red hot crack, as they say here. They say, give it a crack. Go on.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. And if you do go exploring and you don't find what you like, then there may be a need, because if you're looking for it, someone else is as well. So explore, see what's out there. And if you're like, damn, the one thing that I really want is not there, that idea was there for you to create. So go explore, go create, go live, because like Nicole said, we are living on borrowed time. But I think that's a wonderful place for us to wrap up. So until next time, I'm Ri'chard.
And I'm Nicole.
And this has been Melanated in Melbourne.
See you guys.
This has been Melanated in Melbourne, a podcast that analyzes the Australian lifestyle from the lens of two Black American besties. Visit us at melanatedinmelbourne.com or follow us on Instagram to send us your comments or questions. Thank you for listening.